Hey Busy Bees! Today I thought we would take a break from our regular programming from food recipes, and I thought I'd share with you some very important news in my life, and I'd love to introduce you to someone really special. So last Sunday at 3:43 a.m. I had my baby. Oh my gosh, she just shorted. After 9 long months of carrying her, we finally got to meet her, and I vlogged all about it. I'm going through my contractions right now. It's getting really painful.
Right now, we don't have any rooms. I'm gonna try and see if there's any complications with your pregnancy.
I'm so tired. It started off Saturday at 4:30 a.m. when I started to feel some pain and cramps, and I wasn't sure what it was. I hadn't had any Braxton Hicks contractions prior to that, so I just kind of went to the bathroom and waited it out to see what was going on. I had a feeling that this was happening. I was 4 days overdue. I noticed that my stomach is lower. It's beginning to hurt and be really uncomfortable every time she stretches and kicks. So my due date was April 18th, and this was April 22nd. It was Earth Day. I thought, oh, if she comes today, that would be pretty cool. But prior to that, I had guessed, Nate and I had guessed that she would come on the 23rd, and Nate guessed that she would come on the 25th. So I was right. At 5:30, it started getting more and more intense, and so I finally had to wake Nate up and tell him, babe, I think this is happening. I didn't really know what it was at first. I thought I just had to go, number 2, but it kept happening. Yeah, so we both woke up and we weren't really sure what to do, so we started timing it. I have this app on my phone that times contractions, so from then until 7:30 we just timed every contraction. It was very, very inconsistent at first. It was like 20 minutes and then 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It kept like jumping back and forth. So I decided I'm gonna go shower and I'm just gonna try to relax and distract myself while the contractions occur. Finally, at 7:30, we decided to call the doctors just to let them know you probably want to expect us, and these contractions are happening and they're coming.
Since this is your first baby, every 7 minutes is still a little early to come in for an evaluation. We like you to come in when they're every 3 to 5 minutes, lasting for about 60 seconds.
But they said there was like a 5-1-1 rule where you have to have contractions every 5 minutes for 1 minute long, lasting about an hour. And so it had to be very consistent before they would take us and admit us in. Finally, I think it was 2 hours later where I just couldn't take it anymore. It started jumping to like 4 minutes, and we called the doctors, and this is where I learned that always expect the unexpected. The hospital told us they had no room for us. I said, no. What? I was in so much pain, and that really stressed me out, so I just started crying and just working through my labor pains, and it was a really stressful time. I didn't really know what to do. My doctor is at that hospital, and I knew that I may or may not be delivered by her because we had talked about it, but I was familiar with the location and the team. If we were to be moved to a different hospital, it was one that I had never been to, and I just wasn't familiar with the space, and just being in this space where I'm in so much pain and having my first baby where, you know, like I spent months trying to prepare for this, and we took classes there, we did like a hospital tour and everything, so it was just really stressful. But I figure hospitals have babies all the time, and so once I calmed down, I decided, okay, it'll be okay, let's just do this and let's go. I think it was just a really overwhelming moment where, number one, I was afraid of, you know, pushing. It's something that I've been kind of stressed out about throughout the entire pregnancy. If you guys watch my vlog where I announced my pregnancy, I was a wreck. It was just such a raw emotion that I was so happy, but at the same time I was so scared about labor and delivery. I'm really scared.
Why?
Because now I have to push something out.
That's why you're scared?
So anyways, finally we rushed to the hospital. I got admitted, got to our room, the contractions started happening more frequently. It really helps to have something cold. And then when the doctors checked me, I was only 3 centimeters along. And I was like, what? I thought I was so much further along because it was so painful. So for those mamas that decided to do their childbirth naturally, I have so much respect for you. I cannot imagine going through 20 plus hours of labor pains without getting medicated or numbing that pain. It was just, it was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. But finally, I was able to get tested. We got an epidural that was fairly quick and easy. I thought that would hurt a little bit more, but actually them sticking in an IV hurt more than me getting an epidural. So once they put in the epidural, I couldn't feel anything in my legs, and things just got much better from there. I was just smooth sailing. My legs were a little numb, but I had a great support team. My mom, Nate, his aunt were all there to support me through this labor. Aww. I know, it's because you just farted and you just sharded. Aww. Don't be fussy. They were there for me throughout this whole experience, so it went by very slowly. I was in labor for almost, let's see, 4:30, I pushed. Okay, I was in labor for almost 20 hours. Insane. Once I was finally able to push, I was tended by a midwife and a nurse. The midwife at first said this will be a really short labor pushing session because I had really strong pushes, but the only problem was she was only there for me for 20 minutes to get me started with the pushing, and then she left because there were 2 other patients that were delivering at the same time or pushing at the same time. So I was tended by the nurse, and I was so stressed out by that because having a midwife is so different than having a nurse help you push through. The midwife was able to direct me on what to do through every step of the way, whereas the nurse just told me to push harder, 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 and it just really stressed me out, and it made me lose my focus every time she just yelled harder, harder, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't feel much, so I need more direction. The midwife was so wonderful because she kind of guided me through, and she kind of put like the pressure where I needed to push. And so when she came back 3 hours later, I was in labor. I was pushing for 3 hours, guys. It was intense. I was so tired. But when the midwife came back, hey baby, I need to change her. But when the midwife came back finally, it happened in 20 minutes, and little baby came into the world and into my arms. And it's been wonderful ever since. There's been a lot of sleepless nights, but she had a little bit of jaundice, unfortunately, so we had to keep her on this UV blanket, and we went to the doctors probably like 3 times just to get her checked. Luckily, the jaundice is now okay, it's leveling off, so we're just waiting for it to go away completely. One more doctor's office visit, and I think we are in the clear. But she's had a lot of friends and family come visit, lots of cousins that love her so much. And so I want to introduce... And now I'd love to introduce you guys to Miss Baby Erisy. Isn't she a doll? She loves her binky. The doctor said that it helps calm her down, and because she's still having that need to suck on stuff, so we are working on nursing, and we are working on just flushing out the jaundice. So lots of different things that we are trying, but it's been so much fun taking care of baby. But I do have to say, I miss being pregnant. What I loved most about being pregnant was just feeling her kick inside of me, just feeling that like bond. But now she's here, I get to hold her and just play with her and just learn about who she is and what she likes and what she doesn't like so far in life. So yeah, we're so in love with her, and I'm so excited to introduce you guys to her as well. If you guys want to see more of my daily new mom life, be sure to check out my vlog channel where I showed you a play-by-play of the entire pregnancy contraction to delivering the baby. So thank you so much for watching. We will be back with more food recipe episodes next week, and I'll see you guys then. Bye!